We don't want to be left behind. I'll sing the rest later. What's up, everyone? Harry the Big Dog here. I want to thank everybody for showing up and supporting all these episodes. I don't even know which episode we're on right now, but it is the 50-day countdown to the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Let me give my shout out. Shout out Free Agent Radio, shout out Free Agent Soul, and Broadcast Hip Hop Network. I have got my partner, heavy hitter DJ Cam, with me today. And
Yep.
what are we talking about today, DJ Cam?
We're talking about the force of the five MCs
The
that is
force
known,
of the five MCs.
that are known as the Crash Crew, straight out of Harlem, New York.
Yes, sir.
On High
Yes,
Powered.
sir.
The name of the
Hey,
song is High Powered Rap.
yes. Oops.
Mhm.
Um, hey y'all, comment and share on these videos. This is how we get paid. And I want to get paid. So everybody, all 6 billion of you people, just share this thing out. All right.
That's how we get paid.
So we are talking about the Crash Crew, the song High
Mhm.
Powered Rap, which a lot of people, we were talking offline, a lot of people don't even know that's the name of the song
They don't know. They won't know what song we're talking about until we start singing the part.
until we start singing it.
So,
Yo, at the end, we gonna sing the whole 7 minutes.
you know what?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
lying.
Ah.
DJ Cam,
Yeah. So
enlighten us on this, how you say, um, did I do that? Enlighten us on this Crash Crew thing. Give us a little background. This is his show. I told y'all the other day, this is
whatever.
kind of, he knows everything.
I don't know
The
everything. So
walking hip hop encyclopedia,
I just know what
or
I know.
sitting hip hop encyclopedia.
Yeah. I just know what I know. So like we said before, out of Harlem, Crash Crew, Force of the Five MCs, however you know them. It was Mike and Dave. They were a production company, really promoters, technically, if you really break down what they really were. They were promoters who threw parties and always booked the Crash Crew. I don't know exactly who came up with the idea, but they came up with the idea to go ahead and make a record. Once again, by this time, this is 1980, early 1980. So you already had what you call it out. You already had good grief, Sugar Hill Gang. So Rapper's Delight was already out. Uh, you already had at that time Sequence, Funk You Up was already out at that time. This is early 70, late 79. You also have Grandma's Flash and the Furious Five. Super Rapping was already out at that time. It was a 12-inch. And Rap Rockin' the House by the Funky Four plus one was already out. As
Right.
well as what we talked about yesterday, Curtis Blow's Christmas Rapping. So all these records were already laid out and moving. So I guess Mike and Dave, which, like I said, were promoters technically, they weren't really record label owners or anything of that nature. They were promoters who threw parties. I guess one of them came with the idea to go ahead and make a record with the group that they always booked for their parties, which was the Crash Crew. So they went in and cut the record and did it and pressed it up themselves. Really wasn't an official label, even though it says, Mike and Dave on it, but it doesn't have a name. The label, there's no record label name on the record itself.
Right.
Okay, so I'll show you the record. Here's the actual vinyl of
Wait,
it.
let me make you bigger so people can see it.
Right, so you have it's a little written over. I apologize for that. Back in the day, you had the title and label your records, So nobody can steal your stuff. That's just how it was back in the day. No MP3s. You know what I'm saying? So you had Mike and Dave Productions, and you had the song High Powered Rap, uh, Disco Dave and the Amazing Crash Crew. So Disco Dave, which of the Mike and Dave, actually rhymes on the record as well, even though he wasn't an official member of the group. But he did
Right.
rhyme on the record. Shout out and RIP to DJ Daryl C, who was the
Yeah.
DJ for the Crash Crew. And the biggest thing about this record, which turned out to be a financial thing, I'm not going to lie and say I knew at the time, but over the years you figured it out. It was a one-sided record. So this side of the record is the actual vinyl with the actual song. Now on the flip side, right here somewhere,
Nothing.
Nathan, play other side is what it says. If you can,
It was directions.
yes, please ignore this side and play the other one. Now, there were no other records in hip hop that were one sided records. This is the only one sided record in hip hop. And come to find out, probably the real reason they did this was because it was cost effective. To do two sides of a record costs more than to do just one. So they probably just did the one side so they could probably press up more records. Where if they would have did a two sided, they probably wouldn't have been able to press up as many. So
Right.
let's just to make up numbers. I don't know how many they did, but let's say they had the ability to press up 1,000. But the fact that they did one side, it might have allowed them to do an additional 1,000 versus it, being a two-sided record, just like all the other ones were. But there was a little more finance behind those records. Sugar Hill
Yeah.
Records, Bobby Robinson's Enjoy Records. There was, it was a little bit of finance behind that. Where these guys, like I said, they weren't a record label. There's no record company name on the physical record at all. It did mention it lists all the names of the members of the group and things like that, but it's not an actual record label in itself. So that's pretty much the
Now,
story of this record.
let
And
me ask you a question. Is Fly Guy on that label? Because there, at one point, he was replaced by G Man.
no,
So
nope,
he's not on that label, but he was a part of the collective known as the Poison Clan.
right, but wasn't on this actual record. No,
Got you. Got you.
and G Man has the infamous, famous verse that everyone knows on this.
Yes.
You
You
might not know
walking
this
down the street with
show.
your. No, we gonna sing the whole thing at the end.
There you
Everybody
go.
gonna stay.
There you go. Yeah, but I'll that.
You
So
ain't even gonna stay, right?
now you'll see me start to fade out. I'll be like, look, I'll be like, play the other side.
So who all is on the album cover?
All right, so I'll read the names. So you have here once again Mixmaster Mike and Disco Dave Records. Like I said, it was not a real label in a sense. High Powered Rap Artist, Disco Dave and the Force of the Five MCs. Then in parentheses, real small, it says Crash Crew, featuring Disco Dave, Reggie Reg, EK Mike C, G Man, LaShoe B, and Barry Bistro, with DJ Daryl C. A Mike and Dave production. Didn't have the
Oh, dope, dope.
yep. And then this was
That-
another reason was a one and only kind of a situation. The number on it was 1,000. Really meant it was the first record done. You just put the zeros, but that number one means this was the first one done. On the label. Usually when you see those numbers, they're like 476 means there's 470 whatever records already made prior to that one being made. But this was
right.
a one of one technically. So instead of putting one, someone said, "Well, put 1,000." You know what I mean? Like to make it seem like there was a more than just this one title and one record out. Even though this was the only thing they put out at the time, they did do another record, which I should have grabbed. I can't think of the name of that group offhand.
Nice. And then they made a remake or something of that, right?
Yes, well, someone repressed it because once again, back to the
Repressing,
yeah, they who when they did that record, I don't know how many copies were made, but it was very limited. So for anyone to even have
because I
that,
have that copy you got. You showed the first time. I
right?
think I have two of them.
Yeah, it wasn't that many made. Trust me when I tell you. But they did do a repress through a some type of distributor that buys the rights to the records. You know, that's as you see, it says Flashback Records. What they'll do is buy
Yeah.
the rights to it and just reissue it in a bigger quantity. You know what I mean? So this got done later on. You know, of the
Now
same record.
that I've never seen.
Yeah, I bought.
That's dope nostalgia to have.
Yeah, I bought this just to buy it, even though I already had the original. It just it just made sense to get it.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I just bought it. I forget when. I can't even give you a time frame of when it was that I saw it, but when I saw it, I just bought it. And it claims to have an instrumental on the back. I don't recall or remember if it is an actual instrumental.
Is that
And
open or no?
yeah, it's open. I'm gonna find out, but I don't have. I got too much Serato stuff hooked up to be able to test it right now.
You got
But
too
I'm
much
very
digital,
sure.
Bobby digital stuff.
Yeah, too much stuff
Oh,
all of a sudden.
that is dope. So let me do some trivia for everybody. Heavy Hitter DJ Cam had mentioned there was a collective called the Poison Clan.
Hmm.
Now, where they got that name from is if you watched kung fu movies, the movie was called The Five Deadly Venoms,
Force to the
the
five.
snake, the toad, the lizard, and the other two, centipede. Um,
Hmm.
they had I don't remember if it was the evil people called the Poison Clan or they were called the Poison Clan, but that's where they got that name from.
Oh,
That
okay,
movie came out in like 1978.
okay, okay.
Trivia,
So they were pretty Wu.
trivia.
So the Crash Crew we can say was pretty Wu Tangish before Wu Tang.
Yeah,
In terms of
before them.
right, yeah,
Everybody bit off. Everybody watched that karate movie on Channel 5 in New York at 3 o'clock. From 3 to 5, streets was empty.
yeah. I was a Bruce Lee guy. If it wasn't Bruce Lee, I couldn't watch it. Or it had to be like Jim Kelly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was into them two pretty much, and that was pretty much it. I couldn't get into the kung fu aspect when they be flying around and stuff. I was
yeah.
like, I can't do this. I can't watch
Come
it.
on.
I
This
couldn't. I
that
don't
was
know.
the best, bro.
I can't explain it. But I was all in on Bruce Lee.
So we have gifted you guys with some more nostalgic information. We got so many episodes left before the 50th anniversary comes up. Stay tuned. We got people coming from the Bronx to talk about hip hop in the Bronx. We got the West Coast people. We cannot leave them out because although New York started hip hop, the West Coast had a part in it, even though
Mhm.
they collected New York records initially.
Yeah, they have a story to tell as well. Yeah.
And they have stories to tell. And they have local artists that, a lot of us didn't hear of besides Ice T. So
Hmm.
stay tuned, everyone. This is Harry the Big Dog with my homie, heavy hitter DJ Cam, and we is out of here.